Hi, this is Zak Mir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Vox Markets for Thursday, the 7th of October. Starting off with Audioboom, which is making good progress in the sense that we've repeatedly found new support at old resistance around £10 and also bounced off that resistance line, the broken one from July. Above £10, that we're looking for a target here, perhaps up to £15 by the end of next month. Only really back below the 50-day line, currently around £9.50, really questioning the upside scenario. So looking pretty strong there. Stock where there's continued director buying near the lows is Chaarat Gold Holdings. And here we've got this the shares bouncing either side of the now rising 50-day moving average. So that might be a significant on a technical basis. That's around 22 pence, but still waiting for the big break of the 200-day line and that resistance line there from April. Above that, we could hit 35 pence perhaps by the end of the year, but it looks as though the extended base building in the low 20s may be coming to an end. Stock which has also been bumping along the bottom in the recent past is DeepVerge. Here we're really trading off that support area from last November around the 20 pence level, slightly higher low this time around, gone off to or come off very oversold territory around the low 20s on the RSI scale. So still expect the shares to get back within their previous range, maybe between 25 and 35, but obviously 25 the initial target. End of week close above that then gets us back into the old 25 to 35 pence range for DeepVerge. Stock which has been requested on a fundamental basis as well as perhaps a charting basis is Fusion Antibodies, notoriously widespread and notoriously stubborn in its range between, I suppose, £1.20 and £1.80 in the recent past. We just flicked below that. We've had a bear trap gap reversal, though, overnight. And the longer we stay above 120, the more the chance of the shares heading back to £1.80, the top of their range, their one-year range, off the back of a contract win announced today. Stock which is good to see back on the leaderboard at the moment is Gunsynd. Here it looks as though we've had a bear trap reversal, the old low there from back in July around 1.07 pence, 2-3 days below that, and then flipping back quite well. So that suggests that at least while we're above a penny, we could head back towards last month's resistance around 1.35, which would be a reasonable return from current levels. Just trying to work out exactly what the sort of the setup is here. I suppose it's basically a mildly converging triangle, but 135 initial target, after that up to £1.6 pence, which is the top of the triangle and the 200-day moving average, but a nice bear trap there for the stock. Stock which has just been requested a few minutes ago, which I was going to do anyway, obviously, because it's Greatland Gold, and we've been waiting a long time for the shares to recover. Here we've had these sort of narrow lower lows since February, March, and current picture is that we've had a bear trap reversal from below the August support at 15.9 pence. The longer we remain above that, the greater the chance of at least a move up to the 200-day moving average at 21.5 pence, perhaps by the end of this month. And obviously, if you're a fan of the stock, by the end of next week, perhaps. The other point to note is that even though we had lower lows for September and going into October, the RSI lows were actually the same as August, so that bullish divergence could signal the end of that pullback from back at the turn of the year near 37, 38 pence. So shares have really given their fans a rough ride for the bulk of 2021 to date. The other point to note is just that break of that resistance line there from January and the 50-day line at 17 pence. Again, the longer we stay above that, the greater the chance of 21.5 being hit over the next few days, a week or so. And that also backs the bear trap idea for the shares. Stock where we've been waiting months, perhaps even years, for a definitive breakout for the shares is Oilex. As I said yesterday, we were looking for 0.3 to break really on a weekly close basis. More of a chance of that after today's price action, but still not quite there. Want a decent end of day close above 0.25, and then after that 0.3. But it does look as though Oilex is finally gearing up for a proper move, which would take the shares up to retest April resistance at 0.5 pence. Upside at the moment, maybe by the end of next month, up towards the best levels if we get a breakout through 0.3 over the next week or so. Stock which has announced more activities with HUI today is Powerhouse Energy. And here, difficult to describe the price action. I suppose it's the shares hitting that line of support there from way back. Actually, I'm trying to remember where that was from, but that's actually from I think early last year, April last year. So shares bouncing off that uptrend line from April, which is healthy at 3.6 pence. Probably want to see an end of day close above the 50-day moving average at 4.14 to get us back to retesting September resistance, maybe by the end of this month. This stage only really well below the 3 pence area, really delaying the recovery argument for Powerhouse Energy. A stock which where the rug was pulled most definitively by the I think by the FDA, rather than anybody else, is Polarean. Here it's interesting to see that the RSI on that move down went down to around 18, 19, something like that. That's the lowest it's been since March last year. Obviously, after that pullback, the shares, that was actually the bottom of the range at that time, and the shares managed to rise from around 20 pence to £1, 5 pence just last week. So perhaps we'll see at least a dead cat bounce while we're above 40 pence up towards the 60 pence area, even if the shares then fade away after that. Finishing off with Revolution Bars, sort of heading for the drinking season over Christmas, and it looks as though the shares are revving up for something like that. We've had a long consolidation since the gap down in May. Just waiting for an end-of-day close above the 200-day moving average at 25 pence. Unlocking that could take the shares up towards the old May peak at 40 pence, maybe 45 pence by the end of the year if we get a definitive move in the next week or so. That's it from me today. More updates tomorrow.